with TOEFL while the others join? So, okay, I'm going to start teaching you how to teach TOEFL because, as you have noticed, we are getting more students, and now we have students who ask for certification courses. Okay, so the first one is TOEFL. Who has to take TOEFL? Yes, it's very important to know it. Okay, let me just write here in okay, the center features. Okay, here. Okay. Okay, who has to take the TOEFL test? This is something that my students ask me a lot. Who has to take the TOEFL ITP test? Okay, what is ITP? How do you know that the student has to take the ITP course? Well, you know it because you ask them, okay, how many points do they ask you to have or to get? So if the student tells you, that he or she needs to get between, normally it's 500 and 600 points. Normally it's 500 to 550, yes, points. Yes, they have to take the TOEFL ITP. To take the TOEFL ITP. So if they tell you, oh, I have to get like 80 points, or I have to get 80 points, or I have to get like 100 points, is TOEFL IBT. Okay, so what is TOEFL ITP? TOEFL ITP consists of 3 sections. So this is listening is the first one, use of English, and reading, comprehension. Okay, so it's a comprehension test. Okay, comprehension test, comprehension of the language, right? So it is not focused on communication. It's not focused on communication. It's not focused on communication. Because as I said in the first class, the people who developed the TOEFL test considered that if a person could understand message, yes, the person could survive in an English spoken environment. Okay, so TOEFL is recommended. Okay, the TOEFL ITP is recommended for people who, number one, are looking for a job. Yes, are looking for a job. Want to have a first certification in English. Want to apply for an exchange program. Yes. Okay, so the TOEFL ITP, it has a 2-year validation. So validation, but as I told you before, it is not recommendable that every 2 years you take it. So it's only for official trainings. Okay, so if you are, for example, if a student tells you, I want to take the TOEFL test because another one is people who want to graduate from university, from college. Okay, this is the most important one. Okay, so at UNAM, for example, students tell me, teacher, I need to get the TOEFL ITP because, well, the TOEFL, they only say the TOEFL, because I need to, like they say, liberar requisito de idioma, ¿no? So to get a proof of language proficiency. Yes. So and then the problem is when there are students who want to apply to several universities for an exchange program, and then they ask me, teacher, I want to apply for an exchange program in several universities. Yes. And I want to take the TOEFL, and I say, have you called a university that is asking you for the certification of the language? Which certification they require? The TOEFL, because it's the only one. No, there are many. So then when they call, they tell them in one university you have to take the TOEFL ITP, another TOEFL ABT, another first certificate, another CAE, another IELTS, etc. Yes. Okay, but let's focus now on TOEFL ITP. Okay, so TOEFL ITP, for people who can take whatever certification, is recommended for people who have a good level of grammar. Okay, a good level of grammar. So not that they know grammar perfectly, but at least who have this skill to understand grammar, no? Grammar explanations, okay, to understand structures. Reading and listening, well, you find reading and listening in any certification test. So basically it's for people who want to, who have a good understanding of grammar. Yes, okay. So that could make a difference because, for example, I was teaching one day a student who wanted to take he wanted to apply for a master's degree in Abu Dhabi. Yes, and it was he studied in Tec de Monterrey, and he said, I want to apply for the IELTS, and he paid for the IELTS. I was teaching at the Anglo, and they sent me from the Anglo to teach him the IELTS, no? But the IELTS is not recommendable for people who have problems with reading because those readings are really challenging. Yes, are very different from normal readings. Yes, the answers don't come. The questions, and of course the answers don't come in the order of appearance in the reading. Yes, they come in blocks, and maybe the readings are consist of 2 pages, and they're very long, and the first 3 questions maybe are about the paragraphs 6, 7, and 8, and the questions 4 to 6 are about the 3, 4, and 5 paragraphs. Yeah, so it's complicated. Okay, so and then he paid for the IELTS, and when I was giving him the preparation course, I noticed that he was not going to be able to make it in the time that he was requested to take the exam. So I told him, don't they accept any other certification? And then he told me, I don't know, let me check. And they told him they accept TOEFL. They accepted the TOEFL IBT. And I noticed that he had good skills for that exam. And then I prepared him for that exam. And of course, I didn't tell anything to the people at the Anglo. I didn't tell them anything. And then I didn't inform them. And when the mother called, because the son passed his exam, and she commented, I want to thank the teacher because he decided to prepare my son for another certification that not the one that he had paid for. And my director, the manager at the Anglo, called me to her office and said, you should have taught him the certification he had paid for, and if you were about to make the decision of changing the preparation, you should have told us. And but in the end, they wanted that he paid for 2 courses, no? So, but which I consider unfair. But we got the objective, and that's what the only thing that matters. Okay, so well, The problem with the TOEFL ITP is that we have 13 skills that we have to prepare the students for in reading, 27 in listening, and 60 in grammar. So I recommend to start teaching grammar. Yes. Okay. Because number one is there are too many skills. Number two, it takes more time. Number three, it's the most difficult. Okay. Okay. So strategies for the structured questions. Yes, first, study the sentence. Okay, your purpose is to determine what is needed to complete the sentence correctly. Well, remember what I said in the last class? How many? The first thing is, how many sentences do we have? How many verbs do we have? If we have only one verb, we have one sentence. If we have two verbs, two sentences, and we need a linker. If we have three verbs, if we have three sentences, we need two linkers, okay? So then start each answer based on how well it completes the sentence. Yes, if you have to determine if you need a subject, verb, or what. Do not try to eliminate incorrect answers by looking only at the answers. Yes, so basically they say, in other words, don't let your students answer just because this is the one that contains the most difficult words, or this sounds good, yes, or I think, or so it's okay. They have to make something that we call an educated guess. An educated guess is I guess because I have a subject, I have a verb, etc. Yes, never leave any answers blank. So tell your students that whenever they are unsure of what to answer, yes, they have to make a guess. Yes, even an uninformed, an uneducated guess. So why? Because a question that is unanswered is immediately wrong. A question that has been answered, well, you have 25% chances, no? Because you have 4 answers. No? So 25% chances that you are right. Okay. And do not spend too much time on the structured questions. So for the TOEFL test, for the use of English section, they have 45 minutes. So they have 40 questions. So this means that they have approximately 1 minute per exercise. So they don't have to take more than 1 minute per question, okay? Okay, can you see my PDF?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay. Skill number 1, be sure that the sentence has a subject and a verb. Yes. This is the first important. Okay. So please, Jessica, can you read this? You read, blank was backed up for miles on the freeway. Tell me the answer and why.
Okay. Blank was backed up for miles on the freeway. Yesterday was backed up for miles on the freeway.
No. Let me tell you why not. You have one verb. The verb is singular. It's in past. So we need a subject. Yes? Okay, but if you say yesterday, yesterday is a complement. So Mr. Yesterday was backed up. So the whole day was backed up for miles in the freeway. What happens in a freeway? What can you do in a freeway? Like periférico.
You go fast.
Yeah, but you find cars.
Traffic.
Traffic. Excellent. Yes, traffic was backed up for miles in the freeway. Yes, okay. So we need to get okay. If you don't have a clue, try to find a context. What is the context? Freeway, cars, traffic. Okay, the verb is singular, so traffic, because cars is plural. Yes. If you say yesterday, or if you say in the morning, you need a comma. Why? Because this is complement. Remember that when we begin a sentence with an inversion in the order, we have to indicate with a comma where the subject begins. Yes. Okay. So, okay, Evelyn, can you read the second?
Engineers blank for work on the new space program.
Okay, we don't have a verb, so we need a verb. We have subject, we don't have a verb, we have complement. So we need a verb.
Are needed.
Yes, are needed because it's the only verb that we have. And because are, yes, there is something that we call subject-verb agreement. So engineers is plural, so we need a verb that agrees with a plural are. Okay, thank you. Okay. So first thing, check that you have subject, verb, complement, right? For example, you have to tell me if these sentences are correct or incorrect. You have to do like this. Last week, went fishing for trout at the nearby mountain lake. First thing, identify your verb. This is went fishing. Okay, we have one verb. So remember, ing verbs are not verbs if they are not preceded by an auxiliary. So went is not an auxiliary. So this is not fishing is not a verb. So went fishing is one verb. So do you have a subject? No, because last week is complement. There should be a comma here. So this sentence is incorrect because we are missing the subject. Last week, I went for trout, he went fishing for trout, whatever. Yes, okay. Now, the next one, a schedule of the day's events can be obtained at the front desk. My verb is can be obtained. So what is the subject? What can be obtained? A schedule of the day's events. Okay, so this is the subject. This is the verb, this is the complement. We have only one sentence. Let's see if we have subject-verb agreement, that the subject and the verb match. So a schedule of the day's events. So it can be obtained at the front desk. It's correct. So now, Melina, can you read the next one? Please.
A job on the day shift or the night shift at the plant available. I think it's incorrect. We need the verb.
We need a verb, yes. So the subject is a job on the day shift or the night shift at the plant available. So you might say
It's available.
it's available. Okay. So so this is incorrect, right? Okay. So the next one, itself, the new computer.
The new computer program provides a variety of helpful applications. So provided.
Very good. So do you remember what I said last week, that you have your students read, and when they say, and when she was reading, she said, the new computer program provides, like, oh, what happened here? Yes. Okay, so your mind tells you, no, there is a problem here. Okay, so you can say the new you identify your verb. No, has provides. Number one, we identify that has provided. It could be, or provides only. Yes. So because the new computer program is singular, has is correct, but has provided to make it in present perfect, or provides to make it in present simple. Yes. So we have to say has provided or only provide. Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay, we have Felipe here. So, okay, Felipe, can you read this sentence and tell us if it is right or wrong?
Number 6.
Five.
The box can be opened only with a special screwdriver. I think it's correct.
Yes. We have the subject. It's, sorry. We have this, the verb, sorry, first, identify your verb. No? Can be opened. So then you say to the left, we have the subject. To the right, we have the complement. So the subject, the subject is the box, can be opened is the verb, only with a special screwdriver. Now we have subject verb complement, and the subject and the verb match. There is subject verb agreement. So for that reason, we say that this is correct. Okay. Jessica, number 6.
The assigned text for history class, it contains more than 20 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Incorrect.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Because it has it, and you have already the subject.
Yes, we have a duplication of the subject. Yes, because the assigned text for history can be substituted by it. We cannot say it contains, right?
Exactly.
Okay, very good. So then Evelyn, yes, continue with the next one.
Sure. The papers in the waste basket should be emptied into the trash can outside. And I think that's correct.
Yeah, the verb is should be emptied. And this is the trick that they usually do in TOEFL, no? They empty is a verb. Yes, vaciar. Like in Spanish, no? So, vacío, adjective, vaciar is the verb, should be emptied. They are using it like a verb. So, the papers in the waste basket is the subject, should be emptied is the verb, into the trash can outside. And here can is not poder, is the recipient. Okay, the container. So this is correct. Okay, so let's continue with Melina. Departure.
Departure before dawn on a boat in the middle of the harbor. Well, for me, it is like a long complement, and I think it is correct because there's no verb, so the subject is not needed.
But we are not qualifying phrases. So we're looking for complete sentences. Is this a complete sentence?
No, it is not.
No. So
In that
but
case, it is incorrect.
it's incorrect because we need a verb. Departure will take place before dawn on a boat in the middle of the harbor. Yes. Okay, so this is incorrect. Okay. So it's cell number 9.
Wait, there you. Yesterday found an interesting article on pollution. It's incorrect.
Yes. Why?
Yesterday,
I found, somebody found, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we cannot say that Mr. Yesterday found, no?
Okay.
This is something that happens a lot with the students when they say, ayer encontré un artículo interesante sobre acerca de la contaminación. Yes, correct. Ayer encontré. Because in Spanish we omit the subject, yeah? Somebody found, right? So this is incorrect. Now, Felipe, number 10.
Yes, the new machine processes 50% more than the previous machine. It's incorrect because it contains the subject is the new machine, but we have two verbs, is and processes. So in this case, the one that should not be there is. I think it's the new machine processes.
Yes, or the new machine is processing.
Okay.
Or the new machine, yes. Very good, so it's incorrect. So we have two options. The new machine processes or the new machine is processing. So it's of course, in the exam, when the students identify mistakes, they are not asked to tell why that is a mistake. But it is important to always be a step ahead. I always tell my students, if you need to be here for your certification test, I'm going to prepare you to be here. Yes, so that a passing grade is guaranteed. Okay. So the second skill, be careful of objects of prepositions. Okay. Remember that what we are looking for is subject, verb, complement. But you have to remember something. So skill 2. Be careful with objects of prepositions. Yes. Remember that one of our missions as a teacher is to make grammar comprehensible to students. If you say, oh, what is the object of the preposition? Probably they will not understand. But if you tell them that after prepositions, we always use objects and not subjects, yes? It will be clearer for them to understand that we cannot begin a sentence with a preposition. Yes? Okay, another thing. I'm going to tell you this is just for your comprehension, just for your understanding of grammar. Yes, but this is something that I don't tell my students usually unless it is necessary. We have to give doses of grammar to our students gradually. Yes, just the grammar they need. Yes, let me tell you something that I was almost fired in the Anglo because I mentioned this in a class. But I always mention it because it's something like for you to understand, no? It's because I mentioned the word sex. I told my students, because one teacher from primary school, elementary school at SEP, asked me, teacher, this is the third time that we are reviewing present simple. Yes, we studied present simple in first level. We studied simple in A1, in A4, and now in A6, and now in B2. Yes, the courses that the Anglo teaches. We're studying by present simple again. So we have studied present simple 3 times, and now again, it's because there is a new focus. Here we are going to learn that present simple is used to speak when you're happy, to say something that you're happy, that makes you happy. My students always speak in English in class. And present continuous to tell that something makes you angry, to express irritation. My students are always speaking in Spanish in class. Yes, so, and then I said, and she said, why do you do this? Why don't you tell us everything at the beginning? You're a teacher and you might need all this information, appreciate it, but there are students who don't need this. It's like when you are a little boy and your parents talk to you about sex. Maybe when you are 2 or 3 years old, they just tell you, be careful with that thing, no? Or when you are older, they tell you, do you see the butterflies? Yes, and it is like when you are at a certain age that they tell you everything as it is. That's what I said. And for this comment, they almost fired me because the students said, the teacher spoke about sex in the class. And I was like, what did I say? That was offensive or what? Okay, but anyway. So the thing is that objects of prepositions are this, or let's study prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases. Okay, are formed by adding a noun or pronoun after a preposition. Yes, after a preposition. So, for example, at home, for us, with them, but remember that there are prepositions of 2 words next to the living room, next to the living room, or we can also even have so the noun is not only 1 word, and we can even have complex nouns. So I'm telling you, don't explain this like this to your students. Just tell them. I will tell you what you have to say. Okay. In front of the place where they were coming from. Yes, all of these are prepositional phrases. Yes, each at home is a prepositional phrase. For us, it's a prepositional phrase. With them, is a prepositional phrase. Next to the living room is a prepositional phrase. In front of the place where they were coming from is a prepositional phrase. Okay, so prepositional phrases have 3 functions. 3 functions, yes. So the same as subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses can be a noun, adjective, or other clause. So prepositional phrases, which are the little brothers of subordinate clauses, yes. So why little brother? Because a subordinate clause is a complete sentence connected to another, no? It begins with a linker, no? I study English because I like it. Because I like it is a subordinate clause. It's a complete sentence. But if I say I study English because of my mother, because of my mother is not a complete sentence. It's a phrase, prepositional phrase. Okay, we have noun phrases, verb phrases, prepositional phrases. Okay, so okay, this is a adverb phrases. We have prepositional phrases. Yes, what is a preposition? What is a phrase? When more than one word come together. No, right now it's a phrase. Right now it's a phrase. The woman, the beautiful woman is a phrase. It's a noun phrase. No, is working is a verb phrase. Okay, so phrases are when we put more than one word together, yes, and it has a grammatical function, a grammatical function. Okay, prepositional phrases have three functions. They can be noun phrases, prepositional noun phrases, Okay, for example, the woman. No. At noon is dinner. Yes, is dinner time. Is dinner. At noon is right. At noon is right. Yes. At noon is right. Yes. So at noon can be substituted by it. It is right. Or that time is right. No. So if you can substitute a phrase for a noun or for a pronoun, it's a noun phrase. Yes. Okay. So it's a prepositional noun phrase. Prepositional because it begins with a preposition. Yes. So prepositional phrase because it's a preposition plus a noun. Yes. Noun, prepositional noun phrase because it can be substituted by a pronoun or a simple noun. Yes. So at noon is right or it is right. You can say, or you can say that time is right. Okay. Second, adjective, prepositional adjective phrases. Sorry, prepositional adjective phrases. Yes, a prepositional adjective phrase. Yes, is the one that serves to describe a noun. The woman, what woman? In the blue dress. The day, what day? The day for the conference. Yes, okay. So these are for the conference, and in the blue dress are adjectives of the woman and the day. Yes. And adverb, prepositional adverb phrases. Adverb phrases. Okay. So, for example, the party will be in my house. Remember that an adverb answers the questions where, when, how, or why. No? Okay. So the party will be where? In my house. What time? At 6 p.m. Yes. Why? For celebrating my birthday. Yes. Okay. So these are the three kinds of prepositional phrases. Okay. Okay. What do you have to teach your students? You have to tell them that, yes, prepositional phrases, preposition plus a noun or pronoun, yes, are like, for example, I always tell are like accessories, yes, are accessories, extra accessories, yes, that we can eliminate, without affecting the sentence structure. Okay, so in other words, I am a person. Yes, I am wearing glasses. If I remove my glasses, I am still a person. If I remove my shirt, I am still a person. If I remove my my earphones, I'm still a person. So if I remove a prepositional phrase, we will still have a sentence. Yes. Okay. So this is, so prepositional phrases. In other words, look, always try to tell your students the same concept, difficult concepts, explain them in different forms. Okay. So for example, I'm telling them a prepositional phrase is an extra accessory that we can eliminate without affecting the sentence structure. So in other words, prepositional phrases can be eliminated from a sentence without, can be eliminated, and we will have a subject, verb, and a complement in the end. Yes, so if we eliminate, so let me say it in other words, if we eliminate a prepositional phrase from a sentence, we will have a subject, a verb, and a complement. So 2 ways to explain the same thing. If we eliminate a prepositional phrase from a sentence, nothing happens. The sentence is not affected. So in other words, if we erase all the prepositional phrases, we will still have subject, verb, and complement. Yes, okay. So let's go here. Here we have, remember, as we say, the number of verbs is the number of sentences. The number of prepositions is the number of prepositional phrases we will have, except when we have phrasal verbs. Okay, because if I say the man was looking at her, we have a problem here. What is the verb? Looking at her is a prepositional phrase, or looking at is the verb, and her is the object. Okay. Whatever you say at this moment, it's not a problem. Yes, we can eliminate. Remember that the minimum things we need to have a sentence is subject and verb. The man is looking. We have a complete sentence. Because at here is a prepositional phrase. But teacher, the man looking at is a phrasal verb, so it's not working like a preposition. So here is a verb. Okay, good. Yes, of course. I support the second idea. That is the right one for me. But we can debate about grammar. Yes, it's not a problem. That's the important thing, that students have these elements to debate about grammar, and let them debate about it. It's good for them. So after is a preposition. So, oh shoot. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hello.